Hello, welcome to the Weekly Edition. I'm Tania Rowland and I'm the founder of the Side Hustle Institute. So today's topic is going to be on strategies to help you overcome self-confidence challenges to start your actual own business. Before we jump in though, I'd like to just share a little bit about who I am in case you haven't jumped into any of my live Facebooks before. So I'm the founder of the Side Hustle Institute, and what our focus is here is to help women start and build and monetize their own side hustle so they can leave their day job and do work that they actually love. And so a little bit about me. Before starting this business, previously in a corporate role, I had been head of digital for a large multinational, had worked in marketing for a number of years and then moved into digital when that became the smart thing for us to do. And while I was in that role, I was building a side hustle and, really wanted to work for myself and had an ache in a way to do something else. And because I started that business, it gave me the confidence to go out and do my own thing. And so when I left that corporate role about 18 months, 2 years ago, I went out and set up a digital transformation consultancy agency working with corporates. But my passion is actually helping other women start their side hustles and create an income so they can leave their day job. And that's what we're here to talk about today, is how to build that confidence up so you can start. So if you have any, whoops, I'm distracting myself. Let me just shut this down. What am I doing? Click something that I didn't want to. Give me a second here. So if you have any questions, comments during the broadcast, please comment away. I'll try to keep an eye on any questions. I am really excited though about this topic, really keen to get into it. While I'm going through it, if you would like to join the Side Hustle Institute community and keep updated with any training and resources that we're developing, then just comment with the word momentum and you'll get on the list, as well as there is a worksheet to go with the Facebook Live today. So if you put momentum in the comments, you'll be able to get that as well. And tag a friend. If you've got a friend who you know is considering a side hustle, is also struggling with that confidence to get started, maybe has started but hasn't got the results they're looking for, then tag them in the comments and bring them on board with this community. So I believe that there's no better time than now for us as women to be starting our businesses. We're fortunate that with the technology tools that we can access, with a lot of them being free, with everybody moving to an online environment so we can access our audience, so low cost to entry, easy to use tools, the ability to do these things concurrently with our day jobs really is an ideal time for us to be stepping into our own business. And we're also seeing a lot of noise around the fact that society is supporting us a lot more. There's been a lot more roadblocks to women getting funding and mentoring and guidance. So I really believe as women, we're getting better at supporting each other, and that's a big part of the Side Hustle Institute for me, is that as women, we support each other, we hold each other accountable, and, we want to see each of us succeed in whatever our dreams are. So I'm just going to share my slides, and just give me a second while I do that. Okay, here we go. Now last week when I did the Facebook Live, I didn't realize I was still on camera. So I know that this week, but you'll see me having a drink every now and then. It gets a little bit dry, and the content I've got today, I normally had thought that these sessions would be about 30 minutes, but we may go over a little bit because I have got quite a bit to cover. And my goal for you in this session is that if you are struggling to get started, if you really are feeling like you're stuck in your head and, sucking the confidence out of yourself with all the overthinking, then I really want to give you some action steps today, very simple steps that will help you break through and get started. So what are we talking about? So we're going to talk about the strategies to build your confidence and courage to actually start your online business. So if that is you, then you're in the right place today. If you have started but you still know confidence is a challenge, then you're still going to learn a lot as well. And I'll confess, this is an area that I still am very challenged by. You're going to see, I'm going to share some examples of some of the things I've done over the years to help build my confidence so that I can step into my business better. As of today, I still have a coach, and some of the things I'm going to share today are what I'm learning with that coach. And I've also invested over the years in a lot of personal development, and I try to condense just some of the key things that I think will help you break through today to get started. And so we're pretty much saying that, you want to overcome low confidence, self-confidence in pursuit of your dreams, because building our businesses is exciting, but we do it because we have a dream. We either have a dream for a lifestyle, we have a dream because we want to impact people, we feel that our skills aren't being utilized as well as they could be in a job, and so we see, business as a vehicle for us to live more fulfilled. And so, as I said, my goal here is to help you get started. What we're looking for is momentum, not perfection, not to know it all at once, but just to break through from that feeling of potentially self-doubt, overwhelm, and feeling stuck. If we can just start to take those first steps, then it actually, believe it or not, gets a lot easier. And so I really want you to remind yourself that where you are today, the skills you have, the knowledge, the confidence, the mindset, is not who you will be 12 months from now when you start your business today. It's really something that I think we forget, that who we need to be to have the business we want is not who we are today. We are all growing all of the time. We're raising up our bar, and each time we get to that level, we need to raise it again. Like I said, for me, I still have a personal coach to help me with mindset. It's something that for some of us never goes away, and we just need to find strategies to be better at it all the time. So just, acknowledge that, I think. I think it's really important to acknowledge that you don't have to know it all today. All you have to focus on is a way to create momentum. And I'm really hopefully going to show you some strategies that will help you with that. So I thought I'd start off by sharing one of my own personal stories to start with. So back in 2014, I had, reached that point where I was like, I really need to do something. So I, New Year's, set up my blog site, started to blog, had decided I needed to do something to create a framework for a business. And at the same time, I had invested in some Tony Robbins personal development training programs. And the one I'm sharing here is an event called Life and Wealth Mastery. It was based in Fiji, and on the very first day, the very first hour, you are tasked with climbing a pole. It's a 60-foot pole. It's 18 meters for us in New Zealand. And you to climb the pole and jump off it. Now, I knew this going to the event, and I do not like heights. If you put me in the Sky Tower in Auckland to go up the lift where you've got the glass and you can see the bottom, I don't even like that. So I went to this event having already decided that I needed to confront my fears. And I think, we really need to say to ourselves when we're feeling like we're lacking in confidence, we need to acknowledge what that really is fear. That's what we're experiencing in whatever level or format that turns up for us. And I had really recognized that I had been living in my safe little box. I was doing things that for some people might have looked like I was really stepping out, but for my box it wasn't. And so going to this event and knowing I was going to have to climb a pole and hating heights, I'm not a daredevil, I very much recognized I had to do the activity if I was going to embrace my fears. So I'll just explain what's happening in this shot so you can get a feel for what we need when we need to have our own breakthroughs. So in this event, you're put into a team with people that you've only just met. So we had, we're all in, there's a variety of different people climbing. So I'm the person in the front in that first pole, and we had a coach. So the coach, first of all, explains to us what the objective is and how we're going to approach it. So they give us guidance, just like a mentor or a coach will do for you. And they gave us an analogy and something to focus on. And this is really important. It's what we focus on. So the analogy was that as we're climbing the rungs, we're focusing on our future, how we want to live our life, how every rung is a step forward towards what we're looking for. So this is what you focus on as you climb the rung, each rung. And the whole time as you're going up, your coach is yelling out to you, are you still in your comfort zone? Can you go any further? Have you reached your capacity? So I was in the bunch that went in the middle because I wasn't comfortable doing this. And at the same time, your team is cheering you on. So you need a cheer team whenever you're doing something that requires you to step out. Now, sometimes that can be people close to us. And sometimes it needs to be people who aren't, that actually understand our dream. So here I am with a bunch of people I've just met, total strangers, but I can feel that they support me, and I'm climbing up the pole. And I get further up, and I had mentally decided that getting to the top probably wasn't my ultimate goal. It was to participate. It was to do the best that I could. So at this point on the pole, you can't see it, but I am shaking and I'm crying. The tears are streaming out of my face. And the whole time the coach is saying, are you at your maximum? Can you go further? So even at this point, even though I am freaking out, I know I have something more to give. And so that's it pretty much. At this point I'm clinging to the pole and my focus shifts. Internally, I'm actually saying to myself, oh boy, if I go any higher, I still have to jump off, and I'm jumping. And where's my comfort level? So I switched my focus to something that wasn't about moving forward, but how do I contain myself? And I think even though looking at the photo now, I got pretty close to the top, I had already decided that wasn't my goal. And then at that point, and I had reached my capacity, my focus shifted, and that meant I shut down. But I did jump off, and I was incredibly proud that I participated and I did the most that I could. So just one example that...
I can't search that, but I can search my title, actors.
Let me turn that off.
Like romantic.
I think Siri's talking to me. Let's turn that off. Okay. Now. Okay, so I mentioned that, overcoming self-confidence is about fear. And I love the terminology that Tara Moore in the book Playing Big talks about. She talks about pachad, which is the fear of projected or imagined things. And we know that the brain is really good at protecting us, wanting to keep us in a certain environment, in a place that we feel that, we're not going to have to manage something we're not familiar with. So there is that sort of fear. And during this session today, it's going to be a bit odd, but I'd like us every now and then to take a moment to think about this topic or this concept. So if you imagine when you're feeling like you don't want to do something, you feel fear, which you will feel in your body. Somewhere in your body you will feel it. We know that some of that is part of what's been built into us innately to protect us from the unknown. What's really important, though, when we feel that fear is to recognize what sort of fear it is. Now, pachad is really about, potentially what was innately built into us, that if, for example, we're out as a hunter-gatherer getting food supplies and then there's a wild animal coming at us, we need to move pretty fast. That's about the adrenaline kick of fear. And so in our society today, because we don't have that sort of exposure, we potentially create fear around projected or imagined things. And it's really important to recognize that that fear isn't real, and separating it from yirah, and I may say that wrong. And this is another form of fear that's actually really exciting when we understand the difference. It's a feeling that overcomes us when we inhabit a larger space than what we're used to. So when we step into something that's unknown, like in a way me climbing that pole, you can imagine that when I finished that exercise, how I felt. Yes, I had been fearful and, not comfortable at all, but I felt pretty damn awesome afterwards because my belief and my perception of what I was able to do had now got bigger. And my belief in my capacity had got bigger. And so when you think about your business and what you want to create in your future, think about the feelings you will have when you overcome what's been holding you back, and how it will feel when you inhabit a larger space. And I'm going to talk through today the importance of actually not just imagining that, but feeling that, to tap into the power of your feelings. So I'm just going to just check here. I can see somebody's watching, so thank you so much for joining live. I'm not great at potentially navigating all the buttons here. So if you do have questions, comments of what I'm saying you can relate to, please let me know. It'd be awesome to have some feedback. And if you're watching the replay, I'll obviously see your comments, so I'd love to get any feedback. And just a reminder, if you would like to join the Side Hustle Institute community, momentum's the word today, put that in the comments, and you will also, if you would like, get access to the worksheet. So, yeah, I was just saying, if you do comment, hopefully I might see it and I can acknowledge you. So let's jump back to the slides. Now, I do have my dog at my feet, so if you hear some noises, it's not me, it's my dog. So I talked about the way the brain works with fear, in the sense of our, innate way of handling fear. So we have been taught how the brain responds to uncertain environments and how it kicks in to protect us. And the brain does do that. But what I've been learning recently from my own coach that I've been finding really powerful, something that I'd had some experience with but hadn't connected the dots well enough, was the power of our heart. Now, what has been proven is that, we've always imagined the brain sends a signal to the body. We experience fear. We feel it. We tend to close in. We restrict ourselves and don't want to take action and take movement, create momentum. What they now know is that the heart, the signals it sends back to the brain, are actually stronger than the signals from the brain to our body. So what we need to do is activate our heart, which is another way of thinking about it, your intuition. And I think we all have intuition, but I think as a woman, we're very good with intuition, but we tend to get so busy and we tend to live in our heads so much that we forget to listen to that intuition. And when I say intuition, I don't just mean making good decisions, because absolutely our intuition helps us with that, but also helping us acknowledge what's good for us. So when we're not sure what to do and we're doubting ourselves, your heart will guide you and keep you safe, but also give you power and strength. So what I'd like you to think about as a goal is that, yes, you want to manage your mind, but actually leverage your heart more to do that. And with some of the activities I'll go through today, I'll give you some references of how you do that. One very simple way is that we're now hearing a lot about the power of meditation. And I've been definitely trying to get more disciplined with meditating. I'm just going to take a little sip here. So by meditating, I can calm my mind. And, I was meditating yesterday. I could literally hear it sparking because I was working too much and not slowing down enough to hear and feel what I needed to focus on. And so the meditation helped calm my mind. But then I finished the meditation off by literally feeling my heart and visualizing things that make me feel happy and pumping my heart back up so that I can allow it to send signals back through to my mind and my body that make me feel authentic and feel good. So very simply, even if you meditate or don't, taking some moments to close your eyes, imagining your heart being pumped up with blood, have a visualization of your mind of something that makes you feel very joyful, happy. For me, that's my dog, not my teenager. I'd love that to be the case, but not anymore, even though I love him dearly. And so that visualization helps activate your heart and sends good signals through to your body and to your mind and helps you tap into that intuition. Very simple exercise, and like anything, we need to do it often to build that muscle. So what I'm saying is that you need to Allow the feelings that are good for you to help you create the change that you want. I really believe, and this is from my own experience, that we often avoid our feelings because they can feel overwhelming and we don't know if we can handle them. But we often forget about those positive feelings, which are way more powerful and way more productive and very good for us, that we need to learn to allow them to surface over and above those other feelings. So these exercises are about empowering you to do that. So I'd really just like you to think for a moment, as I said, have a pen and paper handy. What feelings for you would help you create the change you want? What feelings make you feel good? What feelings empower you to feel strong and want to pursue things? We're all different to the words we anchor off. And so take a moment to really think about that. And if you haven't had those good feelings for a while, don't be surprised by that, because I think we all get to that place at some point. Be okay with acknowledging that and actually say, so this is my time to reignite them. You know, we're incredibly powerful, I think, as women. And like I say, I believe the Side Hustle Institute is about us coming together as a community and supporting each other to be able to do this. So this is a community that acknowledges that sometimes the path isn't easy, but we can do it. And obviously, you know, sessions like today are about sharing tools to help you tap back into your strength. So really think about, is it humor for you? Is it laughter? Is it love? What are those feelings that would help you create the change that you are desiring? So let's now talk about what actually sucks the confidence out of us. What is it that what are the behaviours and the rhythms we have that drop our confidence down and therefore stop us from taking action? And I'm talking about this in regards to starting your business, but it applies to so many things. So focus. Where is your focus? You'll remember in that example I shared about climbing the pole, I was given a very clear focus that each time I went up a rung, I'm looking to my future and I'm seeing this as this is how I want to live my life. So where is your focus right now if you're feeling stuck? What is the voice in your head saying to you, and what are you focusing on? Is it something like this? You don't have all the technical expertise yet in online marketing, thinking of all these things that you hear about, a number of things that you're not familiar with. And so you've got the swarm of things and then you feel overwhelmed. Is it that you're thinking about the problems that you see in building a business? Is it the problems that you have in learning about what you need? Or are you focusing on solutions? So if your focus is around the negative, around what you don't know you can do, the self-doubt, then you are going to feel like you don't want to take action. So you need to change your focus. And you can do that like that. You just need to ask yourself different questions. When the voice starts to tick away in your head and creates that feeling inside that is very restrictive, you need to catch yourself and actually just say, okay, I'm going to look at this differently. Or I have the ability to ask this in a better way. What would be an empowering way for me to view this problem? Because we're not saying we don't have problems, it's how we view them and how we ask questions and, you know, where do you constantly put your focus? So you need to manage that in a way that is going to enable you to take action. The other thing is the meaning that you are putting on the fact that you haven't taken action. So often we interpret our behaviour, the results we've had, that's pretty much our story, and we put meaning on it. And so what we tend to start to do is we say, oh, well, I haven't taken action yet, so I obviously can't do this. Or you might say, well, and then this was definitely one that is, comes up for me. Well, I don't deserve success. That person over there, absolutely, but that's not, I might be a hard worker, but success is not for me. Or this is too risky. I might have to spend some money, which you will if you're looking to build an online business. But risky can mean different things for you. It could even mean that it's going to take time away from a loved one, from family, from your children, from sports activities. You start to create associations with why you haven't done something, and also if you take action, what that means for you. What if I fail? Huge one. And this is one that I really would say it to you now. Going into business, you're going to fail at something. You're going to fail small, you might fail big. And in the online marketing environment, we're looking sometimes for the failures to get insights, to make changes. So getting comfortable with uncertainty and that possibility of failure is something that you do have to switch your head around. And this is for me very much why I've been working with a coach a lot recently on mindset, because I like certainty. I don't like to take financial risks, and I like to control my domain. And so I've really needed to tap into my internal beliefs and my power of my heart to recognize that I can manage the risk mitigation, and that actually this is part of the journey, and I'm actually very good at navigating it based on evidence of what I've done and I've been able to do in the last few years. And then, is this really right for my future? I very much think that when we're treading water and not getting momentum and considering what we should do, we then start to go, well, is this really what I should do? Maybe it's something else. So it's not really self-sabotage, but we find ways to soften the fact that maybe we shouldn't do this. And maybe you shouldn't, but recognize the difference between wise choices for you versus the meaning you're putting on inaction. So I really love this simple way to look at how we operate as human beings. I used to use this a lot when I would train sales teams. I worked in a cold calling environment where people needed to get a contract very quickly and develop their resilience and ability to knock on doors and sell. And this very much helps us understand what we need to do to get the results we're looking for. So in the if we think about us and what drives us to change, we have our beliefs about ourselves. And a lot of that comes from evidence of what we've done in the past and the stories we've told ourselves from those experiences and what we're able to do. And from that, we then choose to take action based on what we believe we can do, and then we get results based on the action. But what we have to remember is those results then feed back into our belief, and it becomes this cycle that is self-fulfilling in a way. But you can break this pattern if you're looking to do something different. If you're looking for different results than what you have been getting, you can definitely do that. And that is one of the reasons why I, for example, climbed a pole. I never ever wanted to do that sort of thing. Never felt that was, that wasn't me. But I needed to challenge myself in what I was able to do, challenge my belief. But I did that through taking action. So you can work on your beliefs. Absolutely. I've done a lot of work in that area, and you can. But your most powerful way to impact the results in your beliefs is actually by taking action. And that is why today I've got some action steps for you to do in a few minutes. So it's really important to acknowledge and realize that if you want to change how you've been behaving, the results you've been getting, that you do need to take action. All right, so I thought I'd just share another example where I was challenging myself around my beliefs and the results I wanted. So a year after climbing the pole, I was at another Tony Robbins event. And this one is where you walk on coals. And so what they do is while you're in the session for the day, they have many of these lines of fire. I think there's about 12 at the event I was at in Sydney. And so all day they're burning the wood and the coals to make sure that they're well stoked up. And, let me give you some insight, because I am not perfect at this. I went to this event where you walk on coals the year before I climbed the pole, and I didn't walk on the coals. I won't tell you why, but obviously I allowed fear to dictate my behaviour. So I'm now at this event the second time round, and I am determined that I'm going to walk on coals. I've also brought a girlfriend with me, and even though I'm concerned what she will think if I don't walk on the coals, I'm also very aware that I need to shut that out and focus on me. And so you do spend some time beforehand priming yourself. So we've talked about how fear is in our body. So you spend time getting your body in a way that you feel very powerful. You tap into your emotions. You ignite yourself. And my goal in this exercise was no longer just to do it. I wanted to walk on the coals without feeling fear. I wanted to get myself to the point where fear no longer controlled me. And for me, I had always felt that I did things, but fear was always still there, and I pushed through. And it feels so hard to do that, and it gets very tiring when you're constantly pushing through. So my goal, like I said, was to walk on the coals without the presence of fear. So you step up to the coals, and they actually are stoking them the whole time. They're piling on fresh, burning coals to make sure that they are hot. And then you walk across them, not quickly. You step over them, and you're actually saying, cool moss, because in your mind, you're visualizing that they're cool, and you've got your body in a state where you feel powerful. And I don't have a photo of me doing this because you can imagine we're all very focused on the task. But the next day, this was me having walked on the coals, and I felt pretty amazing about it. And so did a whole lot of, thousands of other people. It's very empowering when you take the right actions to challenge your beliefs about yourself to get the results you want. You'll notice I am wearing some socks though. You don't burn your feet, but you sort of feel like there's a few spots that feel a little bit more cooked than other parts of your feet. But very powerful feeling. So now I'm in the part of today's chat where this is you taking some action. It's really important that you think about your why, and you'll hear this a lot. But why would you do something that might feel uncomfortable, that isn't yet in your natural state? You don't have the knowledge yet. You're juggling a lot. Why are you going to prioritize time to start your business? And you need to really have your vision pretty clear. So you'll hear a lot about vision boards, clarity around your why. And I think vision boards are great because pictures create an emotional response for us, and the brain can absorb what we're seeing very quickly. So I use a tool that I've got the website there to create my vision board that I can just click on really quickly from my browser. And I accidentally clicked on it the other day, and instantly those pictures remind me of the lifestyle that I'm looking for, and my long-term lifestyle, but also what I want to be doing this year. You can do a vision board however it suits you. All I'm saying is it's actually worth your time it's part of your strategy. It's part of your getting really clear about why the business is a vehicle to your why, and you need to take the time to get clear about it. If you've already got a vision board and you're still feeling stuck, then we'll move on to the next steps you need to do. But I'd really suggest that you look at your vision and really see if it really does ignite something inside you. Is it really what you're wanting? Have you really created a lifestyle vision? So capture your why. Get that done, scrapbook it, however you do it, but get very clear about it through pictures. Then the next thing you need to really understand is, what is it you're looking to achieve? What is it? Is it something that you capture 12 months from now? Or are you better to have a 3-month or 6-month what? I don't think it matters which one you choose, as long as you're very connected to it. And the way you do this is you write down a statement in the future tense, so as if it's happened. So let's say you're saying 6 months from now, so you would pick the date 6 months from today, and you would say, it is the, whatever the date is, and I have, and you say what you've achieved. Now, when you're building a business, you may not yet have your business plan, so you don't know all the bits and pieces, but you can still say something. So very simply, if it's a monetary goal, or maybe you know that you need to get people on your email list and build a community. You might say, for example, it is 6 months from now, and I have had my first month where I have brought in this much income, and I have created a platform that will bring this in on a regular basis. So you create something that is quite specific, but the trick is you need to finish it by saying, and I feel. How does this make you feel? This is really important. You need to really imagine and feel it in your body that you've achieved this. And then when you read it back to yourself, if it doesn't ignite something in you, it doesn't spark you to want to take action, then you haven't got it right. Then it's not going to move you forward. It won't give you momentum. I've seen this, I was doing, career coaching as well as business planning with people in a mastermind. And the first thing we would do is do this activity. And when I would ask them, does that feeling really ignite you? And they'd go, oh, I'm not sure. Then we knew we didn't have it right. We had to start again. But when we got that feeling right, then they were very motivated to take action. So, we've talked about the power of the heart, and it's a physiology thing. You need to reference when you do this planning, how it makes you feel and what those feelings are. And make sure when you do this, put it up in front of you. The first time I did this when I was building my online business, really drove my behavior very well. It kept me very focused, and I knew what I wanted to achieve. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew the what, and I knew who I wanted to be in that process and how I was going to feel. All right. So your action steps for today are based on what I've covered. Build your vision. Get really clear about your why. It's okay to do these activities where you do slow down so that you can tap into your intuition. It doesn't have to be about being busy activity to start with. So get your why really clear and then create a map of your plan. So from that, doesn't have to be perfect, but lay out a couple of steps that you would need to take to achieve your vision. And then take some action. Pick something that is in that vision, in your why and your map. So your map is the what. And I've said massive action there. It actually really does need to be something that you look at and go, oh my gosh. And then you need to take that action, because it may be a small step, but by taking that action, that small step could actually have a big ripple, because it's that momentum we're talking about. And then I would really suggest that while you're doing this, you incorporate into your habits, your rituals, meditation, visualization, or journaling. One of those that works for you. So what we're really saying here, or what I'm saying, is do something that helps you slow down a little bit, that captures where you're at, enables you to tap into your feelings and your intuition, because that is your powerhouse. That is going to get you to where you want to get, your ultimate goal. Okay, so love to hear your comments. Momentum is the word. If you put it in the comments, we'll get you onto the list for the community, for the Side Hustle Institute. And if you would like the worksheet around these steps, then you'll also get that by commenting momentum. So what are your takeaways? What do I also want you to take away from this for starting your business? I want you to ban perfection from your mindset. Building your business, learning new skills, getting out of your comfort zone is not about perfection, not right now. So ban that from your vocabulary, from how you tend to do things. So ban perfection in your mindset. Be very clear about this. I want you to focus on your customers. So take the focus away from you, where you might be stuck in your head and worried about everything about yourself, and turn that around. And as you're thinking about your business and your plan, very much think about your customers. Think about what is on their mind, what their challenges are, how you can serve them. And remember to have fun. So we get really busy when we're building our businesses, and we're very, diligent. But we're doing this because we want to live a life and we want to have fun. And I have to remind myself of this all the time. I'm a worker, and sometimes I forget that, you know, I want to have fun in life, and that I can have fun, and I do have fun. And even when I'm working, I can have fun. So, you know, remind yourself about that. So, think big, be brave, and act bold. I'm just going to switch this off a little bit here. Come back to the camera. Okay, I went a little bit over 30 minutes today, but hopefully you don't mind. Here we go. All right. So thank you for jumping in today. I really hope this has been helpful. Let me know whether you're able to start to take action towards building your business. If you're watching the replay, please leave a comment as well. Next week, I'm going to talk about my favorite tech tools that are free that will help you build your business. We're, like I said at the start, so fortunate that there are some great tools to help us build our businesses from a marketing perspective and planning perspective. And so there's a lot of tools I use on a daily basis that are free. So I'm going to share those with you next week. All right. Have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. Let me know whether hopefully I've helped you today. I would really like to know, and we'll talk next week.